Alright, guys, welcome to Take Your Base. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Alright, this episode's going to conclude about the ALDS with the matchup between the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros. Both teams do not like each other one bit. They're more famously known for having Mike Fiers, pitcher for the Oakland A's, who used to pitch for the Houston Astros. Why is that important? Mike Fiers ended up spilling the beans. He ended up spilling the tea. He ended up revealing that the Astros were cheating this whole time, leading them to a title in 2017. Their lone title, let alone the fact. And Oakland has brought it up to the commissioner that they seen that something is wrong with the Astros. Even before Mike Fiers had spilled the beans, Astros players hate the fact that Mike Fiers, ended up spilling their secret, making it now, the Astros having national attention on them. You got big platforms like CNN, ESPN, First Take, Undisputed, whatever, any like major outlets talking about the Astros because they cheated. And now they're finally facing each other off. So after 3 games right now, the Astros are up 2-1 in the ALDS. It's best of 5, so whoever wins 3 games moves on to the ALCS, which that would be a best of 7. Whoever wins 4 games moves on to the next round. And the Astros look pretty good. I mean, they swept the Twins 2-0. They won the first 2 games over the A's. The scores, I mean, it makes you wonder, like, why did the Astros ended up cheating to begin with? It makes no sense. So, game 1, Astros ended up winning 10-6. Ended up, Carlos Correa has looked like a monster in these playoffs. And it makes me wonder, like, why would you cheat? You were the number 1 overall draft pick for a reason a few years ago. I think it was 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Like, why would you cheat? Like, you didn't need to cheat. Obviously you were skilled for a reason. And we don't know if they're cheating now. I mean, one can only know if they are or if they're not. And we'll find out, maybe in a couple years. Same thing will happen with the 2017 team. But let's not speculate. Carlos Correa had a 2-homer game that day. Looked phenomenal. George Springer had a 4-hit game in game 1, and that 6th inning was the biggest difference of the game. They ended up separating themselves. Astros scored 3 runs in the 4th inning. Oakland was leading prior to that, scoring 2 runs in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd, and they ended up retaking the lead in the 4th inning after the Astros had a 3-run inning. A's ended up getting another run in the 5th inning, and then after that 6th inning with the Astros won away with the lead, scoring 4 runs in the 6th, and then they never looked back, capping off a 10-5 game. They looked impressive. That's why I question, what was the point of cheating. Second game, Astros ended up winning the game as well, winning 5-2, closer game, but George Springer was a big difference, belting 2 home runs. So Astros look good. They're playing in Dodger Stadium. They're not playing in their traditional ballparks. They're not playing in Minute Maid Park. They're not playing at the A's Coliseum. They're only playing, that series is only being played at Dodger Stadium. Just like the Marlins and the Braves, they're only playing at Minute Maid Park. At Texas, the Globe Life Stadium, that's being held with the series between the Dodgers and the Padres. And the Yankees and Rays are facing each other in San Diego. So those teams are only playing in that one ballpark until whoever is able to advance, they'll go into the next stage. I think whoever wins the series between Padres and Dodgers still stick in Globe Life Stadium, because Globe Life Stadium is going to be hosting the World Series this year. I forget who's going to be for the ALCS. I think it might be San Diego still. Could be wrong. And yeah, so getting back to what I was saying before about the Astros and A's, and George Springer ends up belting 2 home runs. Astros look terrific at that point, and it made me question, like, what's wrong with the A's? I know they only had scored 2 runs, and it was scattered apart. One in the second and then one in the fourth. But now that the A's are down 2-0, they're going into an elimination game in Game 3. If they don't win Game 3, then their season is done. But Chad Pinder looked like the hero in Game 3. Jesus Luzardo started the game for the Astros, and he was not going to go down without. I mean, he had a pretty bad game, but Chad Pinder, came to the rescue. A's ended up smashing 5 home runs in Game 3. Chad Pinder had 2 home runs. I believe it was 4 RBIs, if not 5. He had hit a 3-run home run, giving the A's the lead. And the Astros, they weren't going down without a fight. You had Jose Altuve with a solo home run. Diaz, if I'm saying his name incorrectly, hit a home run. Brantley with an RBI single, Correa with an RBI single, but that wasn't enough to stop the A's. Like I said, they smashed 5 home runs. Started off with Tommy La Stella, then Mark Hanna, then Marcus Semien, and then, like I said, Chad Pinder ended up driving in 2 home runs, bringing in 4 RBIs. Yes, 4 RBIs instead of the 5 that I had said before. Now we're about to have Game 5 today. Game 4 today. Still an elimination game for the A's. Astros are putting out Zach Greinke, and the Oakland A's are bringing out Frankie Montas. Now, in this matchup, I do favor the Astros. I have more confidence in Zach Greinke because he has been in higher leverage games. He has been there. He has done that. Frankie Montas, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle the pressure of trying to stay alive for one more game, one more day, to force a Game 5 win or go home type of game. Astros look good. I personally want the A's to win. I think the A's are, in my opinion, are a great team. They don't have like the top-notch stars. I mean, yes, Marcus Semien, Matt Chapman, they're really good. Liam Hendricks is a good closer. But the Astros got stars. And when you have stars, they normally produce when it comes up big. And I'm really hoping to see the A's force a Game 5, because I want to see who would be the starting pitchers for a Game 5. But I'm going to lean towards the Astros winning Game 4, of ending the A's season, going to the ALCS. It's going to bring a lot of drama. It's going to bring a lot of attention. People are going to question how are the Astros are able to get this far. They're going to question, why did they cheat to begin with? And Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, they already seem, like the most hated players, especially after Carlos Correa's comments after Game 1 versus the Minnesota Twins. And they both, Carlos Correa looks good. He looks good, and if he has another big game today, don't be surprised that they move on. I'm going to predict my score right now. I say Astros win 6-5. 6-5 in 9 innings. I don't think it goes into extras. And the Astros move on. If the A's win, they have to attack Zach Greinke early. They have to get him early before he gets into rhythm. You're gonna need Marcus Semien, to put up get a couple hits. You're gonna need Chad Pinder. You don't expect him to get another two home run game, but you're gonna need Chad Pinder to really, pick it up. Tommy La Stella, expect him to give you like a couple of singles. You need all these type of things for the A's to win. And I feel like Bob Melvin has it. He's going to put his players in the right position for them to win. But Dusty Baker, he's a good coach too. So I just can't wait. Game starts in a few hours. what's it called? Yeah, at 3:35. So another hour and 20 minutes. This game will be starting. So can't wait to see Frankie Montes versus Sacrink. It should be a good one. All right, guys. This concludes everything for this ALDS episode of Astros versus A's. Stay tuned for my next episode. Will be between the San Diego Padres versus the LA Dodgers. All right, guys. What's it called? Watch the game, and we'll be dropping an episode later on for Dropping Dimes with me and Javier. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.